Get ready for the action, because we are diving straight into the Philadelphia 76ers situation. Nekias Duncan and Steve Jones Jr. are asking some massive questions about what changes are coming for Philadelphia after that tough elimination by the New York Knicks. We break down the entire conversation on the dunker spot, and you won't want to miss this deep dive into the team's future and what it means for the franchise right now.
Tired of dropping your phone or struggling to hold it with one hand? The PopSockets Pop Grip gives you a secure grip, works as a phone stand, and even lets you swap the top for a fresh new look. Simple, useful, and perfect for everyday phone use. Click the link in the comments to grab yours on Amazon.
Next up, we examine the overall success of this Sixers season. Crossing Broad breaks down why this season, despite the challenges, should be viewed as a success, looking at the team's journey through the process era and the critical takeaways from roster decisions and the performance in the playoffs. We're moving on to the uncertain future of the Sixers. Chris Mannix and Rachel Nichols dissect exactly where the team goes from here after being swept by the Knicks, debating whether key figures like Daryl Morey, Nick Nurse, and Paul George will stay with the organization. Finally, we hear directly from Joel Embiid as he discusses the loss to the Knicks and the unsettling comments about Philadelphia being cursed. Caroline Fenton and Jason Fitz react to Embiid's words, and we explore whether this is truly a curse or just the reality of the game. Stay tuned right now for all the analysis. Philadelphia 76ers fans and analysts are intensely focused on the team's direction following their elimination by the New York Knicks. The conversation centers on how the Sixers intend to absorb the recent playoff series and what strategic shifts they plan to implement moving forward. Analysts are examining the team's offensive dynamics, specifically the utilization of Tyrese Maxey as a driver and playmaker, alongside the impact of players like B.J. Edgecombe and Joel Embiid. There is discussion about leveraging Maxey's skills to create space for Paul George, who is noted for his elite defense and ability to create opportunities from distance. The central question revolves around roster adjustments, particularly concerning the health and role of key players. The conversation weighs the potential of the current group of players against pivoting towards a younger, more sustainable core featuring Maxey and Edgecombe. This pivot is complicated by past challenges regarding team health and strategic direction. Experts debate whether the team will attempt a final adjustment to maximize Joel Embiid's presence, or if they must pivot toward a rebuild given the absence of Embiid as the primary focal point. The analysis suggests that while the team achieved success in the second round due to a specific combination of talent, the subsequent challenges necessitate a decision: tweak the current dynamic or fundamentally rebuild. The ultimate answer for the 76ers' future remains uncertain, hinging on how they digest this complex on-court and organizational landscape. The Philadelphia 76ers' recent season presents a complex narrative, viewed by some analysts as a success despite a disappointing final record. 13 years after launching the process, the team finds itself in a similar position, prompting scrutiny over roster decisions, trade maneuvers, and front office leadership. Critics point to several areas for critique, including the performance of first-round picks, questionable trades, and internal turmoil within the front office. The prevailing championship or bust mindset adopted by the fanbase is highlighted as a contributing factor to the team's perspective. However, the analysis suggests that viewing the season through a purely championship lens is misleading. The team entered the year with mixed expectations, and the results suggest a reset season was necessary. The team finished with a 45-37 record, placing 7th in the Eastern Conference. Key personnel issues were evident, with Joel Embiid playing only 38 games, Paul George missing the start due to injury and subsequent suspension, and Tyrese Maxey suffering a mid-season injury. Despite the overall struggles, the team showed flashes of promise. They made an all-in push to sign Paul George for a max contract, and the team managed an impressive 7-game series win against the Boston Celtics, a notable achievement given the team's series deficit. This victory was attributed to Embiid's ability to perform against the Celtics' interior defense. The season concluded with an embarrassing 4-game sweep by the Knicks, which provided a sharp contrast to the earlier playoff momentum. Betting markets indicated the Sixers overachieved in several metrics, entering the year with a season-long win total set at 43.5 and long-shot championship odds. The most significant takeaway from the season is the success of rookie VJ Edgecombe. He demonstrated exceptional readiness, averaging 16 points, 5.6 rebounds, and 4.2 assists in his rookie campaign and earning third-place finish in Rookie of the Year voting. His strong performance in minutes and statistical output suggests he is a vital component for the future of the backcourt duo with Maxey. Ultimately, the season was a balancing act, hitting on both the movement of future talent and the presence of aging stars. The organization's decision to trade Jared McCain for draft picks signaled a continued focus on the future. The consensus takeaway is that the organization has laid groundwork for future success, and the train is not fully off the tracks. The offseason will be characterized by renewed questions regarding leadership and direction, with the acknowledgement that the team largely overachieved given the circumstances. The future of the Philadelphia 76ers remains highly uncertain following a recent sweep by the New York Knicks. Sports analysts Chris Mannix and Rachel Nichols have provided an in-depth breakdown of the team's precarious situation, focusing on key personnel decisions that could define the franchise's trajectory. The discussion centers on the potential departures of major figures, including general manager Daryl Morey, head coach Nick Nurse, and star player Paul George. Experts are weighing the implications of these potential moves on the team's immediate and long-term competitive outlook, signaling a critical juncture for the Sixers organization. Joel Embiid voiced a sense of frustration following the Philadelphia 76ers' recent loss to the New York Knicks, suggesting that the city might be cursed. The comments sparked discussion among sports commentators regarding the sentiment and its potential implications. During an interview, Embiid reflected on the game, stating that despite playing hard and trying to give his best effort, the desired outcome did not materialize. He expressed a personal reflection, suggesting he might need to increase his time in church to avoid such difficult days before the playoffs, ultimately joking, "Maybe Philadelphia's cursed." This statement drew immediate reactions from viewers and analysts. Some commentators suggested that Embiid's comments might hold some truth, prompting debate over whether the curse applies to all Philadelphia sports teams, given the recent success of the Eagles and the historical performance of the Phillies. Others offered alternative explanations for the team's struggles, positing that the Sixers' postseason run, including a victory over the Celtics, might be attributed to factors such as age, physical decline, or the inherent challenges of the sport for a player of Embiid's stature. Ultimately, the conversation moved beyond the notion of a curse to explore broader perspectives on athletic performance and longevity.